Scotland Sports. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Carey, please.
That's me.
Mr. Douglas Carey.
The very same.
Hello there, it's Graham Jemison here, calling you from Royal Mail. I just wanted to go through the lines of communication with you. And
I'm very glad you phoned, actually, Graham. Very glad. Go on.
Right. Well, I just wanted to see where we were up to with regards to whom you spoke to in the lines of communication when getting in contact with us here.
Well, I do feel that a compensation figure should be forwarded to me.
Right.
Now, I'm not talking thousands of pounds or even hundreds of pounds, but I haven't genuinely incurred significant telephone costs and time and hassle. And I feel that the response I got wasn't very welcoming or encouraging.
I understand what you're saying.
It's maybe
if I could get a word in just for a minute.
I beg your pardon. Go on.
I have had a number of complaints about the persistent nature of your calls.
Well, I'm sure you've got them dated, and it would be far from persistent if you look at the dates involved.
Well, you did phone on a number of occasions. I've got that here over a dozen times. These aren't long with dates, but I've asked basically...
Sorry, did you say I'd phoned on a dozen occasions?
A dozen occasions.
I phoned on 3 or 4 occasions at the most.
I've got down here at least 12.
No, that's nonsense.
And that you were quite rude and abrupt to a certain number of our operators.
That's absolute... Did I come across to yourself as rude?
I think pedantic is the word I would use.
Sorry, your point is, apart from that claim which I wholly refute.
Well, we're very happy to continue delivering your mail until the end of this month, but after that, we are going to take you off the list and we'll ask you to contact a private mail delivery service.
Really?
And if you are going to go down the vigilante road, then the same thing will happen to the rest of the neighbours on the estate.
Really? Can you write to me confirming that?
As long as the letter gets there before the end of the month.
I'd prefer to bury this right now.
I beg your pardon?
I'd prefer to bury this right now and just draw a line underneath it.
Well, 5 minutes ago you were looking for compensation.
No, yes I was.
And now you say you're not?
I will withdraw my claim for compensation. I would rather stick with the post office than have the hassle of finding a private supplier.
Well, I think you were quite abusive on a number of occasions.
At no time have I been abusive to yourself or any of your colleagues. I refute that totally.
Not to me you haven't, but I think to some of the colleagues you were. He's been signed off work.
You're telling me that one of your staff members has gone off sick on the basis of the phone call that I made?
Correct.
Now, I think all of the calls that I made to Royal Mail were from this office.
That's as may be. That doesn't help my situation. I have to pay this man's wage, and he's not. I am one man down in the office because of you.
Now, the point I'm making here is, you're phoning me here at a public office at my work.
Yes.
And I mean, this is again. You mentioned the word pedantic. How could I have a dozen witnesses here who would confirm that at no time have they heard me have any such conversations. Now, I'm not talking.
Could you name them?
Of course, I could put you on the phone to them now. I'm in a public office.
Such as? Who have you got?
Well, I have the owner of the business who's not in the office this afternoon. I have my sales manager who sits within 6 feet of myself. I have the works manager who sits 20. The works accountant who's off on holiday. All of these people are present. All
these people will vouch for you, and they know what you're like.
Of course they do. I'll put you onto a colleague now. Anytime, you can take a pick of any of my colleagues.
What about Colin Hill?
You know Colin Hill?
I don't personally know him, but he emailed the Real Radio Breakfast Show.
You're kidding me, man.
It's Robin Galloway, Douglas.
Oh, no. Tell me it's not true. Earlier on, I suspected it was a wind-up, but you were so bloody good. Do you know what really put the wind up me?
What?
The thought of having to find a private mail company. I thought, how the hell am I going to do this? What's this going to cost me?
Oaks, my car broke. My car broke down. Oaks, my car broke down. Look.